Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my corner of the internet. My name is Jason, and today I wanted to share the results of an experiment I ran for the Elder Scrolls Arena. Now, one point, we'll say, of discussion. There's, I see some people say one thing, and others say another, so we'll say it's a debate of whether or not you can manually travel from one town to another in Arena. At first, logically looking at, we'll say, different pieces of evidence, I concluded that you could not. But then I came across a line in the Elder Scrolls Arena manual that states that if you were to manually try walking from one place to another, that it could take between 10 to 12 hours of real time. Now, there's always the possibility that this was originally the intention and that line was left in the manual. But, you know what, I wanted to be able to actually go ahead and test that, just to know for certain. And really the only way that could really be tested was for me to sit down and try to walk from one town to another. So what I did was I started in Somerset Isle. There is a town called Skywatch, and directly west of it is Silsalin Point, a small village. When you try to fast travel, it tells you it will take 1 day to get there. Now, assuming that the manual was telling you, your average time, it wasn't telling you the shortest amount of time, but it was telling you, how long it would take to get from, one town to, an average town nearby. It's safe to assume that the estimate could definitely be lower than that. So what I decided was, let's go ahead and start traveling, and since it says it's going to take 1 day, spend at least 2 days in game time, 2-3 days, whatever, in game time to travel from one destination to the next. So what I did was I left Skywatch, left the town, and basically I used invisibility and levitation to go straight over water and try to travel west as much as I possibly could to get to Silsalin Point. Now I did this for several hours, not the 10 to 12 hours. I don't have that much time to do that. And ultimately my conclusion is that no, you cannot manually travel from one place to another. Now I did, I tried traveling west and straight west, and then I decided, well, you know what? At some point, I decided I want to go ahead and experiment, and maybe traveling along the road would make things a little bit easier, or maybe that's what I'm supposed to do, follow the road, and it will eventually lead me to the next village. So tried that, no good. Now I even noticed that after some time of journeying, that I would actually loop back around and come to a town, come to a city, and when I would enter the city, it was listed as Skywatch, and I had come around, it had my little I had made a note within Skywatch for one of the locations of, I believe it was a shop. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. And so I know it's the same city, Skywatch, right? So Skywatch would loop back in front of me. Now I thought, well, maybe this is just the way for the game to, say you're actually lost. Maybe it'll go ahead and spawn the town in front of you. Maybe it doesn't actually affect your position. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to keep going west. And then what I did was every time I'd reach a new city, just to test, I would save the game before entering to see if it actually was still Skywatch and then I would go ahead and load the game and then continue traveling west. The reason I did this was my thinking was if I entered Skywatch and then left it, it might go ahead and just reset my location. So by saving my game outside of the looped around Skywatch, I was hoping it would preserve my location, and, if I continued on west, it would be as if I never entered the city. So I did this several times, and until Skywatch looped around back to me about 4 times. And then I finally said, you know what, it's been several days in game time, and I'm not getting anywhere. So based on that information, I'm going to go ahead and conclude that it is not possible to travel from one town to another. Now, the only, we'll say the holes, one of the holes I can see in my test is that just by loading a save game out in front of the town, perhaps it could reset my location as well. However, if that is truly the case, then it might as well not even have manual travel. If it does, which I'm fairly confident it doesn't, because that would mean going into an inn, or along the town, one of the small villages or hamlets that you come across while traveling. Going into one of those would once again reset your position. So I can say with some pretty absolute certainty that it is impossible to manually travel from one point to another in the Elder Scrolls Arena. And I'm going to be honest, I'm a little bit disappointed. But that's it is what it is, right? So, yep. If you can think of any other holes I may have left in my experiment, please go ahead and let me know. But I'm pretty sure we can conclude, pretty certainly that it's just not possible. So yep, that's it. I'm done. I really don't have anything else to say about that. I'm gonna leave the rest of the video I had recorded for my experiment playing. So if you just want to watch that, go ahead. But other than that, it's safe. You could safely go ahead and turn off the video now.